and it's time for our superlatives segment coming out of week 3. Chris, I got a bunch of them today, too.
Go ahead. Lead it off.
No, do you have none?
Oh, no. I got plenty here. I'm ready to go. You want me to lead it off, or you want to go?
I'm going to start with Cam Newton, and I'm not sure that I can say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is the Go Tuck Rule Yourself Award for the New England Patriots to John Gruden, his first time back in New England since the Tuck Rule game back in the 2000 playoffs. It's amazing that Gruden hadn't been back there since then, but he went to Tampa, and Tampa only goes to New England like once a decade.
Right.
So, yeah, he hadn't been back. Well, he came back, and there was so much talk about, hey, the Raiders are 2-0, and they beat the Saints, and you better believe in the Raiders, and how dare you not respect the Raiders, and you should pick the Raiders, and Derek Carr is going to have a big day, and you're going to be sorry come Monday when the Raiders beat the 36-20, the Patriots won. And it was that methodical, grind it out, make you think for a while. That's what the Patriots do.
Yes, they do.
They make you think for a while that you're actually going to have a chance to win. And then you look at the scoreboard in the second half, and you're getting lapped by the Patriots. It happens all the time.
Always.
They smother you. They make you think you got a chance, and then at the end of the day, you got no chance.
No, and they're the kings of like, oh, yeah, you're hanging around. Oh, okay, you got a field goal. We got a touchdown. You got another field goal. We got another touchdown. And you go, man, the game's kind of even. We're moving the ball up and down the field, except they're scoring touchdowns and we're kicking field goals. And what the hell's going on here? You're right. It's impressive. I mean, one of my superlatives, I was going to use them too because, I mean, you talk about running game by committee or who's got the ball award. I mean, holy cow. Over 250 yards rushing by this Patriots offense. Michelle, Burkhead, Taylor, the rookie out of Arizona, he had a few nice runs. Cam Newton running the ball. A few other guys, you're like, who the hell is this guy running the ball? I've never heard of you. I mean, really, it's quite impressive, the array of runs and how they can attack you that way. And we've seen through 3 games them really play 3 different types of games on the offensive side of the ball and be successful. And Cam Newton, he threw that dumb pick early on in the game where I just don't think he saw the defender out in the right flat. But other than that, he was smart with the football and made a few plays, and that's all he needed to do there. So good win by the Patriots. And I don't know, the Raiders were one of those teams that was 2-0 that I didn't really know if they were a true 2-0 type team quite yet.
But this was the kind of game that's a testament to the Patriot way.
Definitely.
Situational football, making big plays in big moments, bend but don't break. Unselfish play where you don't have that one guy on offense that feels compelled to have the ball in his hands and creates a problem when he doesn't. Hey, this game, Rex Burkhead's getting 3 touchdowns. He's getting 3 touchdowns. Next game, it's going to be Sony Michel or someone else. That's just the way it goes. When your number's called, you go out and do your damnedest with it, and you wait for the next opportunity and otherwise continue to do your job and keep grinding and understand that on those key moments, on those key plays, there's another level of effort and awareness that you have to find.
Definitely.
That's what separates the Patriots from everyone else.
You're right. It is. It's the attention to detail on all those like big moments that they've gone over. They never mess it up. They execute the play no matter what defense you try to throw at them. And they're impressive that way, Mike. And then you flip it over to the defense, it's the same thing, right? Darren Waller is the best tight end in football after last Monday night. We don't even hear his name yesterday. I mean, you don't hear it until late. That just, I think, echoes what you're saying about New England. Oh, yeah, there's a new hot fad in football. Look at John Gruden and Derek Carr throwing the tight end. What? Oh, you played the Patriots? You've been erased. I mean, it's really that simple. They're just the kings of really doing things that you think are very logical, but yet they seem to logically do them all the time, and nobody else does. I don't get it. But that
all
was,
week long, too.
Right.
They hyped Darren Waller.
Right.
Devin McCourty hyping Darren Waller. Bill Belichick went on and on. They were comparing him to Calvin Johnson and Brandon Marshall. And I was stunned to see J.C. Jackson come out and say, we got something for him.
Right.
And they did. They did. And what they had for him was nothing.
Nothing.
You'll get nothing and like it.
No. And that's where they're dangerous that way. They have so many safeties and cover corners that are all different sizes and shapes to match up with these type of football players. And I know Jawan Williams is one of those guys yesterday that did a really good job on him. But, yeah, the Patriots
Most of those guys practice against Gronk when Gronk was good.
That's right. They've seen it all. You're exactly right. And they're with it. You're right, practicing against a team that knows how to use the tight end too, even though it hasn't really come to fruition in the Cam Newton era. But, all right, you ready to move on to another game? Am I good to go?
Go ahead.
Too much on one man award. All right, I'm going with that like Deshaun Watson just to talk about the Texans-Steelers game. I mean, he needs help. I don't know any other way to say it. And I'm
like
not
DeAndre Hopkins?
Right, yeah. I mean, obviously, so far.
Changing your mind?
Well, yeah, so far I'm wrong about that one. I am definitely. I mean, Tony Dungy, I told him yesterday, I'm throwing in the white towel. I give up. It's over. He won that argument. I really thought in a lot of ways it might be a blessing in disguise and all of those things for Deshaun Watson and the offense to be by committee and all of that. But what you're seeing is, I don't know if the offense is good enough to have the whole committee get involved. And then they can't run the ball. And then you see pass protection issues again. I mean, the first half of the game yesterday, the Texans were leading, right? I believe it was, 21-17. And it was all Watson buying time, exploiting the zone coverage, manipulating it, bam, completion. That's all I saw. And the second half, obviously the Steelers made some adjustments in the secondary and continued to pressure him, and he couldn't find those people. But it's always on Watson, and I think that bothers me. I know Pittsburgh's good. I get that. But it's 3 games in a row where it's just I look at Texans and go, if Deshaun Watson doesn't make unbelievable plays, they can't win a football game.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, this is one of the dangers of being the coach and the GM because we're all human. We have emotions that get involved. And I've heard some stuff that suggests maybe Bill O'Brien and DeAndre Hopkins didn't see eye to eye. That's where you need to have a third voice that can maybe mend fences, that can maybe say to the coach, I understand, right? It makes your job a little bit harder, but maybe we're better off with this guy than we are without this guy. All right. And look, hey, good for the Steelers. They're down 14-3. And they just keep grinding. They keep doing their thing. They come back to win the game. They're 3-0, and they haven't been overwhelming. So they haven't played their best football yet.
That's
and
right.
They've got 3 wins in the bank, much like the Chicago Bears do. All right, the next one for me, the Donovan Mcnabb Award. Yeah, I'm saying it. 12 years after McNabb learned when the Eagles and the Bengals played to a tie that there is such thing as a tie in football, he didn't know that there could actually be a tie to end a regular season game. And I really do feel like that was the beginning of the end for Donovan McNabb in a weird sort of way. That's just a stunning admission, right? For someone who's a professional football player, especially a quarterback, because we saw a lack of urgency from him in that game. I don't want to go back 12 years, but it was like, now we know why there's a lack of urgency. He thought they were going to keep playing after the clock struck 0 in overtime. So they get together again, Eagles and the Bengals, and they play to a 23-23 tie. And it's a shame, too, because I wanted a win for Joe Burrow so badly, not just because I picked the Bengals to win, but he was distraught after losing to the Browns. I don't like losing. I've lost 2 in a row for the first time in my life. Well, this isn't a loss, but it's not a win. But it's the Eagles and the Bengals who play once every 4 years, tying for the second time in 12 years, Chris.
Yeah, it's, wow. That was a not fun game to watch. It was fun, but it was also like, man, are we watching good football or are we just watching 2 really average teams just not want to win a football game? I don't know any other way to really say it. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, they're very underwhelming at this point. Joe Burrow, yes, liked a lot of the things he does. He's fun to watch. He can dissect you, make all the right throws. Holy cow, is he getting hit too much? I think that's what worries me more than anything there. And then the Philadelphia Eagles, it's going to be the same old story. I mean, it's all going to be Carson Wentz, especially on the day where Nick Foles brings his team back from 16 points. Everybody's going to go, they should have never let go of Nick Foles. He should have been the starter. But I'll defend Carson Wentz to a degree. He needs to learn how to manage football games. He has a real issue there and not realizing the total picture of what's going on in the game and going, wait, this team can't move the ball on our defense or whatever. I'm just going to play conservative here for a little while. But there's nothing special about the Eagles on offense. Nothing. Well, what is scary about the Eagles? There's absolutely nothing. No run game, average pass protection. I don't look at it and go, oh, wow, unbelievable creative plays down the field. And then, of course, I don't look at it and go, oh, wow, what talent on the field either. So I don't know what's expected there. But either way, the Eagles look ugly. And just every game's a struggle for them.
Your dad made a great point yesterday about Carson Wentz. And I'm trying to find it here because I want to get it right. And here it is, scrolling. Yeah. Carson Wentz, where is it? Carson Wentz. basically that he's got more tweets than I thought he would have. He treats every play like it's the last play of the game.
Yeah.
Here it is. Carson Wentz plays every play like it's the last play of the game. Part of being quarterback is you have to manage the game. And he's right.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Carson Wentz thinks every throw potentially is going to result in 20 points. Just go through your plays one at a time. Go through your reads one at a time. Don't try to do too much. And if you focus on it methodically, like the Patriots do, very methodically, you're going to look up at the scoreboard at some point. You're going to say, wow, we're kicking the crap out of them.
That's right. Exactly. It might not be pretty. People forget that it's ugly in the first quarter. If you're up by 10 points in the fourth quarter, they forget. Nobody cares. Look, they found the guy found a way to win again, played it the right way, and everybody praises you. But yes, this conversation my father and I have had. You've heard this. We just talked about the guy that was used to be like this, Deshaun Watson. It's very similar. I feel like he's reined it in a little bit. We saw a little yesterday with the bad interception, but the same thing. Yes, I mean we've seen in all 3 weeks of Eagles play where they have moments of the game. They're dominating in Washington, and Washington's showing no signs of being able to move the ball. He throws 2 bad interceptions there to jumpstart them. Last week, they climbed back into the football game against the Rams, and it's 24-19, and they're in the red zone. And he throws a ball across his body, across the field, late, interception. That was huge. And then, of course, yesterday, there's the mistakes jump-starting the Bengals and Joe Burrow and a young team that doesn't really believe in themselves. He gave them belief. Part of a quarterback is, and John Gruden used to teach me this, like you're sitting there on the sidelines, watch the game, pay attention. You're sitting there going, man, that other team can't move the ball. Yes, you don't want to not throw to open receivers, but on those plays where you drop back and go, ooh, that's a little dicey. You know what? They can't move the ball. I'm just going to check it down right now. That's all right. I know we're up only 6-0 or whatever, but they can't do anything. I'm not going to try to squeeze it in there. That's part of being a quarterback in the NFL.
One other thing from that Bengals game.
Yeah.
I guess we could have given out the Rock'em Sock'em Robot Award for Joe Burrow. The hit he took from Malik Jackson, the way his head jerked and then he hit the ground and he only missed one play. We haven't had this conversation in a while. We've been so focused on COVID and other things. But, boy, there are circumstances where you got to put that guy in the blue tent and you better make sure he's okay. And I don't know how he got back in the game after only one play, the way that his head snapped when he got hit by Malik Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, that was brutal. Brutal. He's getting killed through 3 weeks in the NFL, and that really does bother me. I mean, again, this is the conversation we're always going to have, Mike, because, guys like that, I know Joe Burrow, he's probably went over there and said his shoulder hurt after he fell. Oh, it was my shoulder.
I'm fine.
Even though he's probably seeing 27 Eagles defensive players on the field. You're not going to get it. I don't blame him. You wouldn't get it from me either. I'd make up an excuse every time. I'm not coming out of the game. It's not happening. But you're right. That was a brutal hit, and I hope they can find a way to protect him a little bit more. All right.
You got
ready?
Any more?
Yeah, I'm ready for more.
I'm ready.
I don't know how I want to phrase this. Just not sure.
That's never, with you, that's never a good way to start into anything. But go ahead.
I'm not going to say
We're on Peacock.
It. Well, we are? Okay.
Don't. I'm kidding. Don't. Well, whatever you're thinking about doing, don't.
All right. Go with your lead
sakes.
horse award. Go with your lead horse, Nick Chubb, okay? Because Nick Chubb is very exciting lately, and maybe you could figure out what kind of award I wanted to give for the exciting Nick Chubb.
No,
okay?
stop.
Oh, I love Peacock. I'm so happy to be on here. But Nick Chubb, and what I say is go with your lead horses. I mean, don't be infatuated with the bright lights of Baker Mayfield and Odell and Jarvis Landry, and we can throw the ball and we got these weapons, because the best thing the Browns do is run the football, and the best player on the offense is Nick Chubb. He is a stud. I mean, without question, one of the best backs in the game. And we saw it again yesterday. When Cleveland plays through their run game, they really can be special that way. He's a special runner. I still got you on the superlative, huh? Am I making you grin still a little bit with the Chubbinator?
Just stop. Just stop.
But
just stop.
Go
ahead.
See, you saw some of those runs. I know we all kind of sat there and all watching it yesterday. I mean, the way he can break tackles, cut back, and his size, the power he has, and everything like that, it's really special. I don't know how you feel about him, Mike, but I feel like clearly Nick Chubb is like McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. Nick Chubb would be like my third running back off the board. I think he's that damn good.
Well, and we got the concession last week from Odell Beckham Jr. that he knows he's not going to have a huge statistical season with the Cleveland Browns because what works is to run the football. And Kevin Stefanski responded, I said, no, every week is going to be different. I still think they may trade him. I still do. We got 6 weeks, 5 weeks until the trade deadline, 5 weeks from tomorrow. I still think he could be traded, especially if they're going to hitch their wagon to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. You don't, and you need to have Odell Beckham Jr. have a threat down the field. Not when you can run the ball like that. No. You don't need somebody stretching the field when you're bashing the other team in the face at the point of attack and Nick Chubb is popping through and running. Go ahead, bring a safety up to the line of scrimmage. So what? Plenty of great running backs have still been great when defenses do everything they can to try to slow them down. All right, next one for me. This is if you have to say it's a Seinfeld reference, then you're trying too hard. But I'm going to say this is the how about 6? 6 is good. You got a problem with 6 award? If you remember that one. If you don't, there's nothing I can do to help you. Stephen Gostkowski, 6 field goals.
Man.
Less than 2 weeks after he was abysmal on Monday night in Denver to open the season. And Mike Vrabel, coach of the Titans, I talked to him after the game, never wavered, had plenty of confidence in Stephen Gostkowski, knew he was going to make his kicks. He's made a lot of kicks in his career, and back 3 50-yarders and a 55-yarder right down the middle to win the game. It was never a doubt. It wasn't even a hold your breath and hope it makes it inside the sticks. He nailed it like an extra point. Unbelievable. And that's what happens when you have a bad day, when your boss supports you. That's what gets you back to the level that you're accustomed to instead of spiraling out of control. And it helped the Titans win. And he kicked the game-winning field goal in all 3 of their victories.
Right.
And they're somehow 3-0. And Vrabel was salty about that because they should be winning the games a little more convincingly. And he said, if we don't improve by winning, we're going to learn by losing. And, he's going to be on them to get better against the run. They gave up too many explosive plays. Did. But at the end of the day, they still ended up winning the game, and they're 3-0, and they're on their way.
Yeah, I mean,
we can't forget about them.
No.
Ravens,
You're right.
Chiefs, Bills, Patriots.
Right.
You got to throw the Titans in that mix, too.
Agreed.
And the Steelers, for crying out loud. The AFC playoff field this year. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's why I'd probably put the Steelers and the Bills in front of the Titans right now. Kind of the things like you just mentioned.
But the Titans are the team you don't want to play.
You're right.
That's the thing.
I'm not.
You're better than them, but you don't want to play them.
You're right. They're going to be a pain in the butt because they just got a few freaks on the field and they can make plays out of nowhere. And they're great for playoff football because there's kind of like, hey, their defense will do different types of things, and then offense, you're always like, oh, they just run and play action. We'll figure it out. And then, of course, they throw some curveballs at you because they go, yeah, we've self-scouted ourselves for the playoffs now, and we do run and play action a lot. And here's some curveballs, and now you're screwed over, and all of a sudden you're losing to us. But they're just a little concerning that way, like you said, the big plays, in the pass game. I mean, Justin Jefferson went off. Of course, the run game runs early on with Dalvin Cook. He was going off. Some of the stupid mistakes. I mean, the Titans had chances to take the game back a little bit. Pick 6, Jadeveon Clowney with a stupid block back that gets called back. They end up getting, I think Minnesota ended up going down and getting a field goal that drive or something like that. But it's just all over.
Remember we saw Vrabel talking to Clowney on the sideline.
Yes, and
I said what was up with that? He said I'm making sure he knows the rules. I thought we'd gone over this. Our guys need to know the rules. It's that simple. That's a Belichick thing. Know the rules. Don't break the rules. Don't give up. Don't kill big plays, and don't give up field position.
Yeah, they've been sloppy that way. They really have, and a lot of big plays their defense has let up. Offense, spotty, but Tannehill and Derrick Henry make the big plays when they have to. I think that's the amazing thing about that group there. The Titans 3-0, and yes, your Vikings are, as we said last week, D-E-D, dead.
D-E-D, yes, I don't care. It was the worst possible outcome because one of our best bets this week are both best bets. The Titans giving 2.5 in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So the worst possible outcome, the Vikings lose, but the Titans don't cover, but that's okay. It's over. It's done. Tank for Trevor. I'm ready.
You're ready
what
for
else
that?
You got?
Well,
tank for Trevor.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it goes that way. I don't know where the Minnesota Vikings are going to go, but I can't see you guys winning a whole lot of football games this year. I mean, Woo! What do I want to say here?
Here we go again.
I don't know. I don't even know how I want to phrase this. I want to talk about the Lions and their defense and Patricia and just the big plays they made there. I mean, I don't even know how to phrase it. I'm kind of just spitballing here. But let's see. What can I creatively come with? But just timely interceptions award. Okay, that's what I'm going to go with just because I want to talk about the game. I mean, the Lions did a good job yesterday. You know, we hadn't seen anybody make Kyler Murray make mistakes the way he did yesterday. And that's the one thing. It's one of the reasons I picked them in the upset of this game is because I figured they were going to take away some of the short, easy throws and at least make him make throws down the field into some tight windows. And then up playing in their favor. But you're talking about like a desperation win. Wow. I mean, Matt Patricia, Stafford. I mean, I think they're all on their last line here. They got to call like, Regis Philbin and call home like for help here. It's an issue, but yeah, they saved themselves yesterday with a big win on the road, and it kind of makes up for last year's blown Week 1 loss or tie that they had that they should have won that football game. But great job by the Lions and their defense.
All right, I got one more. It is where is it? Oh, it's the After Further Review Award, because there was a point yesterday where the Dallas Cowboys were down 15 points. They scored a touchdown, putting them down by 9 points. And you know what they did, Chris? You know what they did? Remember what they did last week?
Yes, they did it again?
No, they didn't do it this time.
They didn't, okay.
Last week, Mike McCarthy created the impression you're down by 9, right? In the second half of the game, you go for 2 because if you don't get it, you still know that you need 2 scores to win the game. So you're better off going for 2 then. You get 2, you only need 1 score. Or whatever. No, it was stupid. It was just the whole thing stupid.
Stupid. Don't try to make it logical. Don't be logical about it.
I'm not trying. It is stupid, but it's making me stupid. But here's the point. Stupid. Mike McCarthy must have realized how stupid it was because the same situation arose this week. Now, it wasn't late in the game, but it was late in the third quarter, and he went for 1 and made it an 8-point game, keeping it a 1-score game.
Right.
But knowing that if he scored another touchdown, he'd need to convert the 2-pointer to tie. Instead of that crazy logic from last week, and I know I'm going to get the analytics people up in arms again, but look, it's a very simple process. You put yourself in a position where you're 1 score behind where you can. If you fail, you're 2 scores down. So bottom line, Mike McCarthy must have seen it a different way. He's not being loyal to the chart at all times. He went for 1 and kept his team down by 8 instead of going for 2. So something changed between last week and this week.
Yeah, well, what? I mean, logic changed. I mean, brains. I mean, of course that makes no sense. Absolutely none. Like you said, you keep it to a 1-score game, and then that other score you need, okay, will be the 2-point conversion from the 2-yard line. That is better percentage play than wait, if we don't get it, now we're going to need to score a touchdown and then get the ball back on a separate possession and then go get another score. I don't know how any number or formula can say that that's not the right way to play the football game. And like you said, you always keep the pressure on the team with the 1-score game. Now they have to manage the game a little different because it's a 1-score game where if it's a 2-score game, they can be maybe a hair more aggressive or something like that because they go, hey, it's a 2-score game. Let's take a shot here. If it's a 1-score game, that's when you tend to see offensive play callers go, oh, well, I don't want to make a mistake here. Let's try to run the ball. Let's be conservative. Let's run the ball, run the clock, all those things. So there is no logic. I don't care what the Einstein formula is, anything like that. When you're down by 9, you kick the extra point to go down by 8 and keep playing football.
You got anything else?
No.
Any other awards?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised. You're not giving Kyle Shanahan. I would call it the next man up and 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 next man up award.
Well, I wrote the Belichickian Award, and I really thought this because you always say like Kyle has a chance to be the next Bill Belichick, but I mean that's where like the 49ers are getting to. We don't even care, and we expect them to just run over teams now, and we do. We just go, well, Shanahan's a good coach. He'll get it done, and he did yesterday. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who's playing running back, who's playing quarterback, got receivers from who knows who the hell they are, but they move the ball, make the plays, 8 for 12 on third downs with a backup quarterback. Yes, that's a testament to my friend Kyle Shanahan, who is an awesome coach, And even with the banged-up football team, you could see him and John Lynch have built something there that can sustain or at least last through the injuries here to where they're going to buy themselves some time to get healthy and still be in a great spot.
I actually said that last night in the digital roundtable that do after halftime. And I said Belichickian because this is the next man up, no excuses.
Yep.
Who cares if we have injuries? We expect the replacement to perform at the same level as the person he's replacing, even though he's lower on the depth chart for a reason. We're not going to get down in the mouth. We're not going to say, woe is us. We're not going to say, look at all these great teams in our division. This isn't our year. We're just going to keep plugging away. And now, again, it's the Jets and the Giants, but still, they are still in the NFL. And they beat the crap out of them in consecutive weeks. They had to go back and play on a surface they had no desire to play on, and they still pounded the Giants into that new field turf at MetLife Stadium, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it was. And again, Mullins did well. The defense played very good. I think that's the thing that you can really look at. Nick Bosa, there was no letdown there. But the big thing to me, and again, not that I could sit there and break down the game yet, but it just Shanahan. I mean, the more I looked at the game, every time I looked over, it was some cool design run play, cool design pass play. And the statistics kind of tell you that. I mean, it's 38 running yards by McKinnon. It's 31 yards by Brandon Ayuk, a receiver. So he's second leading in rushing. Wilson's got 15. And then in the passing game, there's 9, 10 guys who saw the ball. Ayuk, Bourne, Wilson, Dwelly, all were 50 yards and above. And then another bunch of guys who have 2 or 3 receptions. So that, to me, when you start to see stat lines like that, that means oh, wait, we don't have stars right now. We're a little banged up. I'm just going to have to find ways through my creative coaching to get everybody involved so the defense doesn't know who the hell to defend or where it's coming from. And that's what they did yesterday. Shanahan's scheme and creativity just wore the Giants down.
But the fact that the backups can come in and run those plays with the necessary precision and effectiveness is amazing. And it's a testament to how they practice, and it's a testament to the faith that Kyle Shanahan has in his guys.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.